is Aji, and today I'm bringing you the second episode of our brand new Road to Champion League series. For those that didn't see the first episode, I'd really recommend going back and watching it, as it was a fun start to the series. Despite not getting any wins in the last episode, we still did reasonably well, meaning we start episode 2 in Division 4 with 1,030 points. So, let's jump straight into the gameplay. In episode 1, people were playing so aggressively due to players not having to pay a bus fare during the lower divisions. However, with me now in Division 4, people have started to take it more seriously due to everyone now losing 10 points at the start of each match. This meant that you need to play sensibly, otherwise you would start to lose points each match instead of gaining them. What this meant is that I started to get decent endgames with way more players still alive than before. Because of this, I had to play more strategically and slower, turtling up at almost every opportunity. However, although I'd done some good work inside my box, I'd not had anywhere near enough experience to learn how to deal with the moving zones, meaning I took way too much unnecessary storm damage, leading to my death in Game 1. Learning how to manage the moving zones is an essential part of being successful in Arena. I find it to be one of the most exciting aspects of Arena, as it ensures that endgames aren't as predictably slow and campy like they are in pubs. However, performing well during endgame takes a lot more skill when there are moving zones, as you need to be able to tunnel, keep aware of where your opponents are, and rotate effectively. In Game 2, I was desperately hoping that I would get my first win of Arena, and hopefully with a few kills. And in fairness, my plan had gone pretty smoothly, as I found myself with 3 kills and only 2 other players left. And suddenly, I'm 1v1. Can I do it? Wait, no. Oh my god. How have I lost that? I think I was so convinced that I was about to finally get a win. So in my head, I was already celebrating the victory, instead of building and, hitting my shots. What an absolute nightmare. I can't be doing that again. I did well to make it that far, but I know I could have played the final 1v1 miles better. Due to racking up more placement points, I'm able to hit 1,500 points, which puts me in Division 5. At this point, the bus fare is 20 points, so a lot of people start to take each game more seriously when they reach this division. In Game 3, I'm determined to make up for my past failures, and once again, I'm able to make it to the endgame. However, it's in the worst position possible, as there isn't any land in the circle. Because of this, I decide to follow an opponent's tunnel, as it will save my materials, and hopefully they won't know that I'm there. Unfortunately though, with the storm on my back, I'm forced into my opponent's box, and I only just lose the fight. Although I do think Epic have struggled to give players a reason to play Arena, it does have some incentives, with the main one being that you can qualify for other tournaments by reaching certain divisions in Arena. Like last year, you needed to reach Champion League to play the World Cup qualifiers. And then you've got the upcoming FNCS Duos tournament, which requires that you hit champs as well. Also, Arena can make for decent endgame practice. It doesn't really compare to the endgames that you get in proper tournaments, as people don't take it as seriously, but it can at least give you some experience of dealing with the moving zones, something that you simply can't learn from playing pubs all day. Game 5 is the first match of the series I played with my mic finally unmuted. I still can't believe I did that. Some things never change. The thing that I found really difficult when playing these endgames was stopping myself from tunnel visioning, as I could get too focused on trying to kill people, instead of just getting to the circle. Obviously, it's important to get kills when you can, but it's a much better idea to rotate first, and then take shots at players whilst they're rotating. The only time that I should be pushing anyone during endgame is when I need something from them, like materials or ammo, as realistically, you're not going to make it far without either. However, at this point in the match, my materials and loot are looking really good, so I decided to go for high ground. Okay, maybe not, so I decided to drop down. I'm now in a really awkward position, because I've got a player below me as well as on top, so I really need to kill one of them. That leaves me 1v1 against the final player. but before I can focus on killing my opponent, I need to put some shield on. However, due to my lack of experience, during these moving zone endgames, I'm finding it really difficult to time when I can put on my shield. I take my compulsory bit of fall damage, but the circle is still moving too quickly for me to heal up, and even worse, I end up getting trapped in the water, meaning that it's no surprise to see that my first victory royale in Arena continues to elude me. I think that last game perfectly shows why floppers are so important in the game right now. They can be applied so quickly, meaning you don't need to worry as much about the storm. And had I been able to heal up, I'd have been able to challenge for high ground, instead of trying to heal up on the floor and getting caught in the water. In Game 6, having gotten placement points for reaching top 25, I suddenly found myself box fighting a player. However, what's looking like a relatively straightforward kill suddenly gets a little more complicated. That was actually a 200 IQ play. It really threw me off. Yet again, I make it to the endgame. Lately, I've been doing well to get placement points, although getting that win still remains elusive, and my chance of winning this match is looking slim as I start getting C4'd, and suddenly I start getting focused by what seems like the entire lobby. I do well to evade them, but it's not until too late when I realise that not all of these are my walls.
Oh, what the
I'm still yet to get a set landing spot in Arena. I've tried a few different spots, like retail, and a beach area to the southwest of the map, but the place I've had a lot of success landing at has been the Orchard, due to it having so much loot, an upgrade machine, and plenty of materials available. Generally, I've had it all to myself, which has been great, but in Game 7, I finally had it contested. She seems like a decent player, as she keeps getting me with the cones, but I do end up knocking her to the ground. However, she doesn't die from the fall, and I completely lose track of her. With the storm coming in, I just want to get to the circle, but I'm scared that if I do leave, I'll just end up getting shot in the back. I can't for the life of me figure out where she's gone, until I get a brainwave. I knew it!
You fucking idiot.
Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but was I wrong? It felt good to have finally killed her, but my joy was short-lived when I hear the sound of grenades being thrown in my direction. Really? Another guy in the toilet? Either way, it was the same result, as she's sent back to the lobby. Later that game, I see an opportunity to take some shots at a player, and the burst does some decent damage. At this stage, I don't really need to be pushing anyone, but I figure that I've got a minute until the storm starts to move in, so I'm not worried about that. However, the fight doesn't go as expected, as I'm left desperately weak, without even getting the kill. At this point, the only way that I'll be able to heal up is by getting a kill, so I'm desperately trying to make an angle to take some shots at players. But the guy I'm shooting at gets sniped, and unfortunately, he's not the only one. The next game, I see two players fighting nearby. I'd love to get involved, but I doubt I'd be able to finish the fight quickly, so I decide to just get to the circle. However, there's a psychopath nearby, and he's trying to ruin my game.
Really?
I do my best to keep away, but she won't leave me alone, and she pushes in more aggressively, leading to a build fight. This player moved in so confidently, but she can't take high ground, and she starts to box up. She's trying to heal, but there's no way that I'm letting this happen, so I keep up the pressure. I might have won that fight, but sometimes your greatest enemy is yourself.
Oh my god.
I really thought I was going to die there. Later that game, whilst minding my own business, in the river north of Misty, a player decides to interrupt my leisurely swim. I might have great loot, but I'm not interested in fighting, as I need to get to max materials. However, this player simply won't leave me alone, and he launch pads at me. But you saw what happened to the last player who pushed me. Yeah, well this time, I'm not quite so successful.
Oh, freaking hell.
So with 2 games left, we've already doubled the amount of points we got in the first episode, despite playing against tougher opponents this time around. And I think the main reason for that is that I took each game more seriously. I was conscious of the fact that I was losing points at the start of each match, so I almost always played for late game, although I wasn't quite as successful with that in game 9.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Due to the players being better now, I couldn't be playing recklessly. I had to play smarter, only pushing fights that I felt were necessary, and I almost never hot drop. If the bus path went over the orchard early on, then I'd land somewhere else, as it could get contested. But with the bus arriving there late, I figured I'd be fine, dropping there in my final game of the episode. However, it seems I wasn't the only one with this idea, as I come across multiple opponents at my drop. Once again, the pistol proves to me why it's one of the most underrated weapons in the game, as I destroy this player's shield before they have a chance to react, before finishing her off with a clean pump shot. I make it to the final 5 when I see a player healing up with a campfire. The only placement points I can get at this stage would be from winning, so I decide to push the player, hoping that they're weak. I can tell that she's a good player, but I hit her with a clean shot, which causes her to launch pad away from me. I'd like to go straight after her, but my guns aren't reloaded, so I decide to play sensibly. Eventually, I launch into the circle, and I decide to land on top of this player's structure, as I figure that it's an easy way to get high ground. However, I'm quickly knocked down into the river. I didn't want to be in this position, but as far as I'm aware, nobody knows that I'm actually here, so I decide to stay here until the storm starts to come in. With the storm moving in, I need to leave this position, but I don't want to move until this player has left. Otherwise, I'll just get shot from behind. So I wait patiently until the last possible second. That could not have gone much better. Wonderful. I see a player building up high, so I decide to go for height, as I figure that if I did get knocked down, I could just fall on top of his builds. This is going weirdly well. Everything seems to be falling into place. I need to keep conscious of where the other players are though, as if one of them contested height, then I'd have a real problem. One of them tries to knock me down, but I'm still able to maintain my position on the high ground. And what makes things even better is that I start to hear the sound of the final 2 players fighting down below me. I decide to drop down, hoping to work a better shooting angle, and I'm able to finish off one of the weakened players. So that leaves me 1v1 against the final player. Is this it? Am I finally going to win my first game of this series? I've been in this position before and messed it up, but this time I'm going to play it patiently. I lose track of the final player until eventually they're forced to move out into the open. Whew. So we end episode 2 with a win. Get in. I'm not the most experienced with these type of endgames, but I'm really happy with the way that I played it. We started episode 2 in Division 4 with just over 1,000 points, and we've ended the episode with over 2,300 points, just outside of Division 6. We're still quite far away from Champion League, but I'm delighted with how it's gone in episode 2. So hopefully next time, we're able to build on this progress and continue pushing towards champs. So, what did you think of episode 2? And what division are you currently in? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on the screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it'll go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.